Hello. This is a video for candidates in the Econ Job Market system. It's a demonstration of how to request recommenders. Now, there's an important thing to keep in mind as we go through the demonstration, and that is that the identities of all the recommenders in the system, including their official email addresses and affiliations, are verified by Econ Job Market's staff. So a person like me will sit down and look at information provided about the recommenders by the candidates to verify the recommenders' identities. Now, this verification has to take place in three situations. The first is when a new recommender has to be added to the system altogether. So, for example, if your advisor will serve as a reference for you, and your advisor does not yet have an Econ Job Market account at all, then we're going to have to add create an account for your advisor, and then give your advisor the recommender role in the system. And so the verification of identity has to occur there. Another situation would be if your advisor already has an Econ Job Market account. Maybe your advisor was a candidate in the system in a previous year, but doesn't yet have the recommender role. In that case, again, we're going to have to give your advisor the recommender role, and the identity verification has to take place. And the third situation is when we have somebody in the system who already has the recommender role, but needs to have information about him or her updated. For example, the person has a new affiliation, has moved from, say, one organization to another, or the person's email address, the official email address, has to be updated in the system. And there again, we're going to have to do the verification. Now, in all of these cases, the verification is triggered by a candidate, and the candidate will provide information to the Econ Job Market system that allows the staff to do this verification. One more thing about this that you should keep in mind is that the verification process can take some time, at least one day, sometimes several days, because there are actual people like me doing the verification. And sometimes we have a backlog, and it'll take some time for us to get through that backlog. Now, this means that you shouldn't wait till the last minute to request recommenders in the system. If you're waiting until just before the deadline for an application, you might be able to initiate the application before the deadline, but your application won't be complete until all of the recommenders are in place for that application. And so that could stretch beyond the deadline for the application if you wait till the last second. Now, therefore, we would advise you to start the process in the job market season of putting your recommenders in the system, making sure they're all in place before you start your applications. And then when you're initiating each individual application, you can select from your already approved recommenders, and your application can then be submitted instantaneously. All right, so now let's go to the demonstration and look at the features of the system. I'm now going to walk you through the process of selecting a recommender. Here we have the Econ Job Market website, and I'm logged in as an applicant named Alex Sanchuk. This is a fictitious name, and all the names you're going to see here are fictitious. I'm on the home page for a candidate. I'm going to go up here to the taskbar and select recommenders. And now you can see I have no recommenders currently on file, but I'm going to add a new recommender to my account. Now, to do this, I just need to know the name of the person. And so let's just say that the first person I'm going to pick is called Evelyn Rose, and this person is one of my advisors. So I'm going to put in Evelyn Rose here, and I just search, and you can see that we have a person named Evelyn Rose that has been found in the Econ Job Market system, and you can see the person's email address. This is the official email address for Evelyn Rose, and the affiliation, which is the economics department at Drayton University. So maybe, I'm at Drayton University and this is my advisor, one of my advisors. Okay, now to add this person as a recommender, I just need to click on Add Recommender if this information is all correct. And in this case, it is. You can see exactly right has been filled in here. And I'm just going to click on it, Add Recommender, and then it will add Evelyn Rose as one of my recommenders. So now you can see Evelyn Rose has been added, and this person is listed for me as a recommender. Now let me go through another one. Let's suppose I'm going to need to add another recommender, and this person is called Hiromi Okada, another one of my advisors. Now I'm going to search for Hiromi Okada. Now in this case, you can see after I've clicked on the search that we have Hiromi Okada recognized in the Econ Job Market system already, the official email address shown, and this person's affiliation is in the economics department of this fictitious Southeastern Delaware State University. Now suppose in this case Okada is no longer at Southeastern Delaware State University. In fact, Okada is now at Drayton University, a colleague of Evelyn Rose and one of my advisors. Well, I need to request an update to the Econ Job Market system because the system requires that all of the recommenders, in fact all of the users in the system, each of them has only one account, and the account has the updated information about affiliation and official email address. So I'm going to click on the right person because the right person has been identified in the system, but the wrong affiliation or email. And I'll click on Add Recommender now. And now we are taken to step one of requesting a change in the affiliation and or email address. So now I'm going to go through here and select Drayton University because this is the actual current affiliation for Okada. If the institution wasn't shown there, then I could add it by clicking here. And I'm going to click this to continue. And this takes us to step 2 in the process, where I have to supply information that allows Econ Job Market staff to verify that Okada is now at Drayton University, and verify Okada's email address as well. So the first box requires the URL of a web page at Drayton University that shows Okada is affiliated and also shows Okada's official email address. So again, this has to be a page on the official website of Drayton University, and it has to give information that's specifically about Okada, including Okada's personal official email address. Let's just put in a URL there. Now in this case, I'm going to put in the Econ Job Market URL because I need to put in something that's a real web page. All right, the next thing you'll put in here is the email address. I'm assuming that Okada's email address is the same, so I'm not going to change it. It's already been pre-filled into that box as the one that's currently in the system. So let me leave it as it is. But of course, if Okada had a different email address now that's associated, for example, with Drayton University, then I would have to put that one in this box. Now, there's another spot down here where we have to put in another URL, which is a web page that helps us to verify the previous affiliation or an email address for Okada for this reference. And then Econ Job Market staff can look to see that Okada was at this previous organization and now is currently affiliated with Drayton. All right, so once those things are in, and you can also supply another web page to verify this, we see at the bottom the affiliation, which is, I've specified it's Drayton, and then the department is economics, so I've got to just now submit this request. Okay, so now the system has gone through and checked that the websites that I've provided are real websites. And the system has also checked to see if Okada's email address appears on the websites. Now in this case, since I had to use the Econ Job Market org webpage for checking purposes, you can see that Okada's email address is not on that website, of course. And so there is a warning here that says, look, you've entered this email address, hiromi@okada.com. It does not appear on the website. Now sometimes this is the case because the email address may be encoded in a particular way or shown graphically. And so you have to just verify that you do have the right web page. And sometimes the system hasn't found it, but you still want to submit the recommender request. And so I'm going to go down to the bottom here and submit request. And now we're back at the recommenders page for the applicant Alex Sanchuk. And we see the status of the recommenders. We have Evelyn Rose, who we added before. And then we have the request that we just submitted, which is for a change in Okada's affiliation. Now, at this point, the system has sent Okada an email and has asked Okada to confirm this change of affiliation. And once Okada confirms it, this entry will move up to the top and join Evelyn Rose as a confirmed recommender. So you've now seen two examples of requesting recommenders who are already in the Econ Job Market system with recommender roles. Let's go to another example where we're going to select someone who's in the Econ Job Market system but doesn't yet have the recommender role. So let's say this person's name is Pat Wong. So we're going to search for Pat Wong. As you can see, the search result brings up a bunch of people's names, each of which has Pat and Wong in it. And I've blacked out most of these because I don't want to show any real people. But you can see that the person we're looking for, Pat Wong here at the economics department at Bamako University, again, fictitious names, is on a list. And it's on the list of people who are registered users of Econ Job Market but do not have recommender roles yet. So suppose that Pat Wong is in the system because Pat Wong was a candidate at some point and was using Econ Job Market to submit applications, just like you're doing. But now Pat Wong has a job at Bamako University and is one of Alex Sanchuk's references. So we're going to select Pat Wong here. And let's suppose that there's no change in email address or affiliation. We're going to request Pat Wong as a recommender. Okay, this brings us to the second part of the process where we have to supply information to allow Econ Job Market staff to verify that this is a person who can serve the recommender role. So we're going to provide a URL of a website that will show Pat Wong's affiliation and the official email address. So this should be a website that shows that's from Bamako University and also shows Pat Wong's email address. As before, I'm just going to use the Econ Job Market website as an illustration. So I submit this, and now you can see that on Alex Sanchuk's list of recommenders, we have a request for recommender role for Pat Wong currently in process. So once the Econ Job Market staff verify Pat Wong's identity, the approval will be done, Pat Wong will be notified. So this brings us to another point, which is who is responsible for pushing this process along. In this case, Okada has to just confirm that the change of affiliation is correct, and Wong will get an email that requires confirmation to serve as a recommender. So the candidate doesn't have to do anything at this stage. But if you as a candidate are concerned that your recommenders aren't following through to confirm these things, then you should go to them personally and just make sure that they are doing these tasks. It's a very simple process for the recommenders. All they have to do is respond to an email that they're going to get from the system. Okay, let me go through another case. A person named Leslie Palmer. So suppose we want to add Leslie Palmer as a recommender for Alex Sanchuk. As we had before, we're going to see now a list of people in the system who have the name Leslie Palmer, and there's just one, a fictitious person at this fictitious Southeastern Delaware State University that we saw before. Notice, first of all, that Leslie Palmer is shown as a person who is a registered user of Econ Job Market but does not have a recommender role yet. And so we're going to have to request the recommender role. But let's also request a change in affiliation. And so I'm going to click right person, wrong affiliation or email, and we'll go through this process. So here too, let's select Drayton as the correct institution now, the updated institution for Leslie Palmer. And we're going to go through this process of providing information as we did before to verify. And again, like I did before, I'm just going to use the same Econ Job Market website. And I could, if Leslie Palmer had a new email address that's affiliated with Drayton University, I would put that here in this email box as well. All right, and again, this information is used by Econ Job Market staff to verify the identity of this recommender so that the person can be approved to have a recommender role. And in this process, we are selecting and requesting a change of affiliation. So I'm going to submit this request, and as before now, we've gone through, we have Leslie Palmer as somebody who's been requested for a recommender role, and we have the information here provided to the candidate so the candidate can see what the status is. All right, now let me go through one last example, and this is the case where we're going to add as a recommender somebody who's not even in the Econ Job Market system yet. So this is a person named Sasha Jordan. So suppose Alex Sanchuk has another recommender to add by this name. Now here the system will bring up the names of people who are in currently registered users whose names are similar to Sasha Jordan, and I've blacked them out because I don't want to show you any real names as before. But in this case, there is no Sasha Jordan who has come up, and so we're in a case where we have to add the person to the system. So you can see at the bottom here a note saying if your recommender is not one of these people, you can request an account for Sasha Jordan. So that's what we're going to do. And let's just say Sasha Jordan is at Drayton University. All right, now I'm going to click Continue. And now I have to provide, similar to how we did before, information that allows the Econ Job Market staff to verify who this Sasha Jordan is. So we're going to need the URL of Sasha Jordan's webpage at the university, Drayton University. That is, it has to show that Sasha Jordan is affiliated with Drayton, and it has to show the official email address for Sasha Jordan. And as before, I'm just going to put Econ Job Market in there just to get through this. And I have to put Sasha Jordan's email address. So let's say it's sasha@jordan.com. All right, because I am now, as a candidate, setting up or requesting a user account for Sasha Jordan. So I've got to provide the means for verifying the identity of this person and the email address for the account. Now, importantly, in all cases, we have to give the official personal email address for each recommender. So here with Sasha Jordan, we have to give Sasha Jordan's actual email address. Going to now just complete this form. We've got Sasha Jordan, the URL, and the email address that I'm entering for this person, and verifying that I'm putting in Drayton University's Economics Department as the affiliation. And I submit that request. Okay, as before, it didn't find Sasha Jordan's email address on that website, but I'm going to claim that it is on the website someplace, and so I'm going to submit that request. Okay, so now we have examples of a bunch of different kinds of recommender requests. We have the Evelyn Rose request, where Evelyn was in the system already as a recommender. And then we have examples of others who, either in Okada's case, need an affiliation change. In Wong's case, need to be verified for the recommender role to be added to that person's account. In Palmer's case, to request the recommender role and also request a change of affiliation. And for Jordan's case, to add this person to the Econ Job Market system and give the person the recommender role. All right, so in each of these cases, once the verification process is done and the recommenders themselves confirm whatever the changes are, the addition to the system, these names will then go right up to the top there and be approved recommenders for use in applications. All right, take care and hope things go really well with you on the job market.